Hey guys, in this video I'm going to show you a replay analysis of a coaching student of mine that is on Ancient 2 right now, and even though it might not look like this guy just solo won the game as a position 5 Enchantress. Let's see how he did it. So the game is looking very grim already for my student. The laning stage was super rough. We've been talking about some of the mechanical things we could have done differently, and of course there's always a lot you can do. But right now this Sven is just not really controllable. Even though he died here, there are going to be so many team fights where he's just completely stomping and it's just difficult to contain him in any sensible way. So the team fights are happening left and right, and everything basically is just a reaction to what's happening. There are some lucky incidences where Legion gets a duel, but they never really manage to group up together, get a smoke, move out into the enemy area. As you can see, all of their tier 1 towers are still standing minute 20, and this is looking worse and worse. Now we can see them having another engagement on the bottom side. Green just died, they still decide to linger around. Sven uses all his stuff and of course they all die. They can't really do anything against it. Lucky thing that the Terrorplate was not involved here. At some point in this constant battling and losing to their fights and getting initiated on, my student said, and I quote him here, that he heard my voice inside of his head and decided to change something about the approach that he's going into the game with. He recognized that if they cannot manage to get a straight teamfight out with a smoke or a nice call under vision, then he should be changing his approach towards the game. And in his words, he is playing the sacrificial lamp now, and let's look at his strategy. I think it's absolutely genius, and it shows what a great impact you can do even as a position 5 in a completely losing game. So he's moving towards the top area. And just by his movement, he's pressuring the enemies to do something. They just took rows together. So right now they have the ability on Sven, they have the Aegis, they have a Silver Edge, and they have BKB on Sven. They have the opportunity to just walk down a lane, take the racks and finish the game. But they do not know that apparently, because this Enchantress just provoked them to react towards the top tower. So they took Roshan and now they're thinking, well, I don't know what's happening. Let's see what we can do. Oh, there's a Enchantress. I'm gonna catch her. I can kill that Enchantress. So they TP towards the top side. The great thing is that Legion right now is actually getting wind of this. So the Legion sees the situation that's happening top, and Sniper and Rubik, they TP top, and Legion does something out of this situation. She catches the Sniper. There's a fight happening. And I'm just overwhelmed by the fact that they basically threw away their whole advantage that they had. So they had a unified strength on the enemy team. They had the Sven to frontline, the Sniper to sit in the back, and the Slaughter to clean everything up that's happening. But they decided to throw all of that away because Enchantress was baiting them. Enchantress gave them the opportunity to throw away the game, and they took it. So now there's a solo Slaughter sitting around. Legion didn't die on the top side, even the Silencer got out. They can reconnect and they get a kill on the Slaughter, even the Queen of Pain survives, and suddenly, out of one Enchantress death, the whole game seems to be turning. There seems to be a glimmer of hope approaching the next teamfights. Looking at Enchantress again, he immediately takes the creeps that help him to push enemy towers quickly. And instead of being at the top area and trying to force another fight here, where he's trying to defend the tower or joining his teammates or doing something crazy, he is doing the most bravest thing that you can be doing in Dota 2. He's running down a lane, and he's just running down and looking for opportunities. So he sees the Sniper, and then he's like, alright, if there's a Sniper, never mind, I'm just gonna be here, I'm gonna ward this a little bit, and instead of trying to defend top and having no success there and just feeding away, I'm gonna use this catapult wave and push it into the enemy side, and I'm going to force a reaction. And this is the absolute perfect thing to do here. As you can see, they're all sitting around the top area. They're going to take this tower anyways, independent of Enchantress being here with 11 levels or not. So now the enemies have the opportunity to make mistakes, and the mistakes they do is the same as they did before. They TP towards the Enchantress, and look at this opportunity that opens up from it. Legion has the opportunity to kill a Sniper, to kill a Rubik. I think none of that really happens because she misses the initiation, but suddenly Sven and Slaughter are caught out of position again. They are at the risk of dying. There's so many opportunities here for the teammates. Sadly, none of them get realized, and Legion just dies as well. but the impact is still humongous because they didn't push out the top side and they still have a wave here to deal with, so they cannot even push on the bottom side. They've wasted so much time, their Aegis is running out, they only have 2 more minutes left now to make a valuable play, and we are regaining some ground on the field. And basically all of that by an Enchantress death. And then he decides, well, it worked great out once, let's do it again, and he's just running down the next lane. And of course the enemies, they react to him again. The Rubik is moving top, suddenly there's a Sven here for no reason, and Enchantress even gets out of it. Now they need a Slardar to clean up the kill, and in the meantime Sniper dies for it on mid lane. So this Sniper kill is a present that Enchantress gave their team. This is all Enchantress work, and I find it absolutely amazing how the enemies, which are, remind you, on Ancient level, are still falling for that and going for this. This just shows that you can have an incredible amount of impact in the game, even if you're playing position 5 and you're losing. Just don't get stuck in team fights. And if your team continuously looks to get involved into fight, and you have the question of maybe, hey, how do I play around it if my team always forces bad fights? Well, you are just the one guy that does the right play. And in this case, it looks like that. Even though you're just feeding and you're 3 to 10, I would argue that this Enchantress has the highest impact of the game right now. At some point, of course, if we try those actions, we're gonna get picked off rather quickly, but there's always an opportunity here. Of course, they missed the blink, but imagine they get a return kill on the Slardar. And at this point, really, there's no downside at doing this. It's not like another kill that you feed with your Enchantress will negatively impact the game. Each opportunity you get out of it can make a huge difference though. So we are going to look at the Enchantress again. And she's on the run. She's just going. And they are trying to push the high ground, but now Sven has to kinda get out of there. There is a Slardar suddenly here with no reason at all. Sven has to TP back and then cancels his TP. There's so much happening out of this aggression. This Slardar is busy chasing some creeps instead of finishing the game together with the Sven. And this is exactly what we want to do. And then there's the next push coming in on the top side. Again, we force the TPs. We just force every single reaction. This has been 15 minutes, if not more, of purely chasing a Enchantress, that a hero that actually doesn't threaten any tower. And now there's a fight happening bottom, and it doesn't even matter how it goes, because even if you lose the fight here, they're going to take ages to get towards the tower. Talking about ages, what they should be doing is they should be taking the Aegis and actually getting something done and pushing high ground with it, but this Enchantress just stops every single move. Now he's knocking at the high ground, and Sven is showing, but now a Rubik shows up, and suddenly this Slardar is back, and the Sven TP back for no reason at all again. And now Ogre is tilted. He's like, I'm done with this. I just died 5 times because you guys don't want to push. This is ridiculous. And then Sven is dying, and this Rubik gets collapsed on, even though he's not doing anything. He's just pushing a tower. He has like 0 effect on any teamfights whatsoever, but suddenly he's a threat for a sniper mid lane. He gets cleaned off by the Slardar, but Slardar dies instead, and today it's just amazing how much impact you have. Suddenly, out from a really horrible perspective, you get the nice comment out of it with a 3-14, and this case is starting to close, and they're actually winning that game in the end. They get another fight on the Sven, and Enchantress easy is playing. Everybody is just like tilted, and they think, oh, their own teammates played so bad, and this Ogre bought back, and it's horrible that he lose the game. But actually, their cores just didn't know how to stick together. They got baited by the right moves from Enchantress, and I'm super proud of this move, and I really enjoyed watching that. And yeah, I hope you can find the same opportunities to open up the game for you when the game is closing in, and when the map seems like you are going to get starved. Just be brave, be bold, do something new, risk your life as a sacrificial lamb, as he said, and yeah, enjoy the game, be creative. Cool, with that, I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!